Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm bringing you my top 5 cozy reads of 2025. So the first one we're going to talk about is Behind Every Good Man by Sarah Goodman Confino. And this were my 5-star reads this year. And weirdly, trust me when I say that this is like a book about politics, but it's very cozy, which I know does not make sense. So if you like The Marvelous Miss Maisel and you really like just loved that show, or was interested in that show, it's that basically, but instead of comedy, it's politics. So Beverly finds her husband in a compromising position with his secretary and ends their marriage. Beverly's husband is the campaign manager for somebody running for Senate. And she comes from a very high pedigree, like political pedigree family herself. So when she finds her husband in a compromising position with his secretary and ends the marriage, to get back at him, she joins the person that's running against the guy that her husband is the campaign manager for, to just kind of get back at him. And she has a lot of good ideas. She's grown up in politics her whole life. Her father is like very revered, like retired politician. And so she basically joins the underdogs team to get back at her husband. But as we go on, we realize that she has so many good ideas that she had given her husband over the years, and he just took to his campaign, like without credit to her or anything. And she really has great ideas in her own right. Like she has a good political mind in her own right. And that kind of gives her, she realizes that as she's working on this campaign, that it's not really about her husband anymore. Like she has a lot to offer. And also that this guy that is running is actually a really good person. And she thinks he'd be really good for, for the people. So she actually believes in him as a candidate as well. So it becomes much less about her husband and more about herself and like really believing in this campaign. Amazing. A lot of like fun cast of characters around the campaign and stuff, and so cozy. And it is like high stakes because there's an election obviously going on and campaigning, but it doesn't like incite, like you don't get very like upset or excited or like your heart's racing or anything in this book. It is a very cozy read. Like the feelings you get are very like warm and cozy. So I think this was like a surprising cozy read of 2025, but it just like gave you all those like good feelings. And this was like such a surprise 5-star cozy read of this year. The next cozy book that I read in 2025 was The Lost Apothecary by Sarah Penner. I read this book as a collab with Maya Papaya Reads, which I will link above and below, because she loves this book, loves Sarah Penner, so I read this. And it's basically about, it has a dual timeline, and it's about, in like present day, Caroline is in London by herself, because her husband was naughty. Like I see this is like maybe like a trend in these first 2 books. So she goes on this trip alone, and she finds an apothecary bottle in the Thames. Like there's like a group that goes searching, like a tour group that goes like looking in the Thames, like when the tide is low, for historical items or like valuable items, anything they can find really. And she finds this bottle, and it has like a marking on it, and she's really interested in like kind of solving the mystery behind this bottle. So that's her journey. And then we have like the 1780s timeline where Nella has an apothecary, and it's different because she helps women basically get back at men. She has poisons and stuff, and like she has like a front like facing business, and then she has like the back where she has like poisons and things. And she has 2 rules: never use like those against women, and to like keep like a record of everything that she's done, like who took them, what they took, why they took it. So she has this big record book essentially of all of her going ons. And she has these like set of rules that she plays for herself to like work within. And she kind of like has this unexpected friendship with a 12-year-old named Eliza. And those 2 go on kind of an adventure that leads to issues for the apothecary, and like we kind of see like what happens to the apothecary. And this is all that Caroline is trying to figure out and like trying to solve the mystery of in the current timeline. Sarah Penner's writing is very cozy, and she does not usually have an explosive third act, which I really love, but the absence of that makes this book very cozy. There are high stakes, but you remain very calm and serene when you're reading it because of the way she writes and the way her third act goes. So, and I've read her, The Amalfi Curse, her other book that I've read, and that is kind of very similar as well. It's the feeling you get is very cozy when you're reading it, even if like the subject matter isn't always the comfiest, but because of the way she writes it, it's a very comfy, comforting read. The next cozy book is The Lonely Hearts Trivia Night by Lawrence Farnsworth. So this was actually a pull on my TBR jar for lowest rated on my TBR. So this was, I don't know where I found this book, but it was the lowest rated on my TBR, and I read it and I actually really loved it. So it's basically about a pub quiz team. So this woman puts out an ad for pub quiz, like team members. She wants to start a team and she needs people. So these like cast of like strangers for different reasons all reach out to join this team. And they don't know each other, they're strangers. They all come with their own baggage, their own personal issues, the reasons they're there. And they kind of form this through, it's like a big competition. So it goes on for like months and stuff. And they build friendships. There's like some, conflicts between the group, outside the group, inside the group. People make friends. They really give something to one another. Like they've had this little like found family little situation through their pub quiz team. And yeah, it was a surprising, really cozy read. And it kind of gave me like Sally Rooney vibes for some reason. Like it just gave me some Sally Rooney, like the ensemble cast kind of gave me some Sally Rooney vibes, but it was just, you just rooted for everybody and it was like so cozy. And it's like, also there are a lot of scenes where it's like super cold outside and they come into the pub and it's nice and warm and there's everyone there and it's like the chit chatter of like everyone in, because a lot of people come to watch the pub quiz as well. And it's just like this cozy atmosphere in the pub for the pub quiz nights and stuff. So yeah, very cozy, very surprising, very cute read. The next cozy book I read in 2025 was First Time Caller by B.K. Borison. Now, I gave this book 3 stars. I wasn't blown away by it, but I can say that it did give me cozy vibes. So, but I'm in the minority. A lot of people are obsessed with this book. This book is about Aiden, who runs a like love hotline thing for a radio station. He gives love advice. And a young girl calls him one day asking for love advice for her mother. And she's like, oh, my mom doesn't have a love life and all of this. So the mom finds out. And eventually it happens that she comes onto the show to kind of be part of Aiden's show and kind of document her going through her love life and trying to find love. The show sets her up on dates and things like that, and she reports back on how everything's going. So yeah, of course, nothing would happen between Lucy and Aiden, right? No, not at all. So this is like a very cozy romance rom-com. There isn't a crazy third act, which is why I think it was a very cozy read, and the stakes are not super high. So most people love this book. I liked it, but I like a little bit more drama, so it was cozy. The last book I'm going to talk about is Just One Damn Thing After Another, which is the first in the Chronicles of St. Mary's series by Jodi Taylor. Max gets an interview with this like strange, I think she's a historian, and she gets this like strange interview with like from one of her like professors recommends her to get a job. She goes through this interview and they're very vague about what they do there. But she does get the job and realizes it's time travel. So they go around as a historical observational like thing that they go around and time travel and do research and solve mysteries of history and things like that for the good of the future. We go all over in this book. We go to like the dinosaurs, we go all kinds of crazy places. And it does like seem like the stakes are pretty high in a lot of moments, but it is very funny, very kind of lighthearted, and very cozy. Like I think it's just the way Jodi Taylor writes it. It is very cozy and fun, and we just go on all these like fun adventures. And there's so many more books in the series that I want to read. But yeah, it just gave me like cozy vibes. It just it was interesting. It was exciting, but at the same time, gave me a lot of cozy feelings. Those are my 5 most cozy reads of 2025. I got your typical cozy reads, I feel, because some of them have like a lot of action, but it's almost like the way they are written that you can like relax. Like your nervous system is relaxed when you're reading them, and you can just cuddle up and read them and not have a lot of like extreme emotions. So that's kind of how I do my cozy reads, less so with where nothing happens in a book. So a little bit different take on the cozy reads in this video. Please subscribe if you haven't already. In the description box below, you'll find the Goodreads links to all of the books I mentioned. my Goodreads, wish list, Bookstagram, all the things. And yeah, I hope you're having a good holiday season and Vlogmas, and I'll see you tomorrow.